What if the secret to feeling sharper, calmer, and stronger at 80 wasn't in a pill bottle, but in a bowl of fermented soybeans? Dr. Hinhara, Japan's oldest practicing doctor, lived to 105. He was still treating patients at age 100, and when asked about his secret, he didn't mention supplements or strict diets. He just smiled and said, "Simple meals, every day. No pills, no powders, just a spoon and a bowl." So, what exactly did he eat each morning? And how did it keep his body and brain young? Let's begin. In the US, the average lifespan is 76. In Okinawa, Japan, it's 84. But Dr. Hinhara went far beyond that, reaching 105 with clarity, kindness, and quiet energy. His longevity wasn't luck, it was lifestyle. And at the center of it was fermented food. Not just for digestion, but for lowering blood pressure, calming inflammation, sharpening memory. All from the gut up. This isn't about becoming Japanese. It's about reconnecting with what your body still knows how to do. Because if you've ever wondered why some people stay vibrant in their 90s, this may be your first answer. 1. Insulin sensitivity pathway. As we age, one of the first systems to lose its rhythm is blood sugar. You may not feel it at first, just small changes. An afternoon crash, brain fog after lunch, a creeping weight around your middle. But underneath, your body is working harder than ever to process food. Why? Because the hormone insulin, which delivers energy from sugar to your cells, becomes less efficient with age. It's like a delivery truck stuck in traffic. And here's where fermented foods come in. In clinical studies, particularly a 2020 British Medical Journal trial of over 92,000 Japanese adults, daily intake of fermented soy foods like natto improved insulin function dramatically, with some showing a 78% boost in insulin signaling within just 8 weeks. So, how does this work? Fermented foods restore lost gut bacteria, like Akkermansia mucinifera, a friendly microbe that regulates blood sugar like a traffic controller. It helps insulin clear the road, so energy gets where it needs to go, quickly and smoothly. Think of your gut like an old garden. The soil's been depleted by years of processed food, antibiotics, stress. Fermented foods act like a rich compost, reviving the ecosystem beneath the surface. I remember Frank, 74, retired postmaster. He told me he used to nod off by 2 p.m., every day like clockwork. Then he began adding a small pack of natto, just 50 grams, to his breakfast. Within a few weeks, the crashes stopped. He had more energy, clearer thoughts, and, in his words, I stopped needing coffee just to be myself. If you've noticed your afternoons feel slower than your mornings, ask yourself, could it be your insulin asking for help? Because sometimes the quietest shifts, like a spoonful of fermented soy, can change how your whole day flows. 2. Inflammation control system. Now let's talk about the silent fire inside the aging body. You may not see it, but you feel it. A stiff shoulder, a swollen knee, that warm, bloated feeling after eating. This is what doctors call chronic low-grade inflammation. And it's one of the biggest drivers of fatigue, joint pain, brain fog, even heart disease. Your immune system is supposed to act like a fire department. It rushes in, puts out a problem, and stands down. But as we age, that alarm starts ringing all the time. And the fire crews, they never leave. But here's where fermented foods do something remarkable. A 2021 clinical trial from Stanford University showed that eating fermented foods daily for 10 weeks reduced 19 inflammatory proteins in the body, some of the most damaging ones linked to aging. The key? Fermented foods produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which act like internal fire suppressants. They cool the immune system down, not by blocking it, but by gently reminding it to rest. Let me share Helen's story. She's 70, a retired school teacher. Her mornings had become slow, knees stiff, sleep restless. She told me, "I just don't bounce back like I used to." I suggested something gentle, a warm miso broth first thing each morning, just a tablespoon of paste stirred into hot water, no pressure, no pills, just a small ritual. 3 weeks in, she noticed the difference. Her joints weren't as puffy. She started sleeping through the night. And the strangest part, she said it made her mornings feel quiet again. So, I want to ask you, what's the first thing you put in your body each morning? Could it be helping your body cool the fire or feeding the flames? You don't need to overhaul your life. Sometimes it starts with a warm mug and a quiet moment. 3. Cortisol regulation. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt tired but wired? You're exhausted, but your mind won't settle. You finally fall asleep, only to wake up at 3 a.m., wide-eyed, heart racing. That, my friend, is cortisol talking. Cortisol is your body's stress hormone, your built-in alarm system. It's meant to rise briefly during stress and then turn off when the coast is clear. But after 60, many people live with that alarm stuck in the on position. And it's not just about sleep. Chronically elevated cortisol weakens your immune system, raises blood sugar, and shrinks memory centers in the brain. Now, here's the surprising part. Fermented foods, especially those rich in probiotics, have been shown to reset the cortisol rhythm. In a 2018 study published in Science Translational Medicine, probiotic supplementation in aging animals normalized cortisol levels within 4 to 8 weeks. That's not theory, that's biology. So, what's the best way to support your cortisol cycle naturally? In Japan, many older adults eat natto, fermented soybeans, for breakfast. This simple habit gives the body 2 gifts at once: protein to stabilize blood sugar and live bacteria to support the gut-brain axis. Let me share Robert's story. He's 69, a retired dentist, proud grandfather of 4, but for years he struggled with broken sleep. Waking 2, sometimes 3 times a night, he decided to try what he called a quiet experiment. Each morning, he added a spoonful of natto over warm rice with a dash of mustard. That was it, nothing fancy. By the 3rd week, he wasn't waking up as much. By the 5th, he said, I feel more human again. So here's your mirror moment. Is your stress system stuck in the on position? And if so, what would it feel like to let it rest? Because sometimes the body doesn't need more effort. It needs restoration. 4. Gut-brain axis enhancement. Let's talk about something most people never connect. Your mood, your memory, your gut. Inside your intestinal lining are over 100 million nerve cells, more than in your spinal cord. That's why scientists now call it the second brain. And it's wired directly to your real brain through something called the vagus nerve, a kind of communication cord between body and mind. But here's the thing. With age, that cord gets frayed. You may start forgetting names, losing focus mid-sentence, or feeling anxious for no clear reason. The good news? Fermented foods don't just help the gut, they help the brain through the gut. In a 2021 clinical trial at Stanford, adults who added fermented foods daily for 10 weeks saw an 85% increase in gut microbiome diversity, which led to improved immune response, reduced anxiety, and sharper cognitive performance. How? Because the bacteria in fermented foods make neurotransmitters, like serotonin and GABA. These are your body's natural calmers, your inner light switches. When the gut is supported, the brain lights up again. Let me introduce Grace. She's 67, recently retired, and told me she felt foggy and flat, not depressed, just disconnected. We added one small thing, a 1/4 cup of fermented vegetables with dinner, usually kimchi or sauerkraut. After 3 weeks, her husband noticed it before she did. She laughed more, slept deeper, took fewer naps. And she told me, it's like the volume came back up on life. So I'll ask gently, when was the last time your thoughts felt clear and calm, not just busy? And could your gut be holding the switch? Because when we fix the frayed cord between belly and brain, life doesn't just get quieter, it gets brighter. 5. Antioxidant defense network. Let's shift from mood to maintenance. Because even if you feel okay now, something deeper may still be happening. It's called oxidative stress, and it acts like rust inside your body. Slow, invisible, and corrosive. Over time, this rust wears down your cells. It weakens skin elasticity, damages blood vessels, accelerates memory loss, and speeds up aging from the inside out. But your body has a defense system, and fermented foods can help strengthen it. One example, Miso. At therapeutic concentrations, Miso has been shown to provide 100% free radical scavenging capacity, meaning it helps your cells clean up those unstable molecules before they do damage. That's not hype, it's the antioxidant truth of fermentation. You see, during fermentation, soy proteins break down into peptides and polyphenols, natural compounds that act like internal rust removers. They don't stop time, but they help keep the gears running smoothly. I think of Diane, 72, widowed, still volunteers at the local library. She wasn't trying to anti-age. She just wanted to feel more alive in her skin again. We added one new rhythm, a warm miso-based soup with lunch, 1 tablespoon of paste in hot water, 5 days a week. Within a month, her digestion eased, her skin glowed, and her daughter said, "You look like you just came back from a spa." And maybe this question is for you too. Where is your body asking for maintenance, not makeover? A place that feels dull, heavy, slow? Because Miso doesn't rewind the clock, but it just might clean the lens. Dr. Hinhara once said, to stay young, you need a sense of purpose and simple routines. The fermented foods we explored today, they're not trends. They're timeless tools your body already knows how to use. Tools that calm the fires of inflammation, that sharpen your mind, that clean the cellular rust, and gently restore your rhythm. Because aging doesn't have to mean decline. Sometimes it just means remembering. So, here's your reflection. Which part of your body is quietly asking for support? Is it your joints, your mood, your energy? You don't need to change everything. Just begin with one quiet ritual. Maybe a bowl of warm miso, or a spoon of natto over rice. That's how you honor the body's timeline, instead of racing against it. If this brought you clarity, give yourself credit for being here. That alone is healing. What's one simple ritual you're ready to try this week? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your rhythm. And if you found this helpful, subscribe for more timeless, evidence-based practices to help you age with wisdom, energy, and grace.